this video here to get you guys familiar with how to download and manage more typefaces from the web, especially because you guys are probably using a personal computer for this online class. Um, so that's the video I'm doing right now. I'm going to replace that type in a minute on this Canvas page. So system fonts. System fonts are already in your Mac or your PC, whatever you have, and they're the 10 to 12 fonts that keep your computer working. They are things that you will find in PowerPoint, like Arial, Tahoma, Times New Roman. And these are sort of the fonts that all computer systems, Mac and PC, and even some open operating systems have agreed that they will all carry on their machines. So if you put Veranda on your Mac and give the file to someone with a PC, your Veranda typeface will still be there. And things like that. But if you download some crazy display type and then send it to someone with a PC, it's going to open in one of these typefaces. So, that's why you always want to package your typefaces and send it with things. Also, and I just want to mention this as you guys are managing all your typefaces here, never delete any of these, because let's say you delete your Veranda typeface and then you do a PowerPoint and the PowerPoint calls for Veranda, the system's going to crash. Or if you get an email that's in Tahoma typeface, your email system's going to crash. So you've got to make sure not to delete these basic fonts that are in your machine. All right, and there are systems to manage these typefaces. To go over them all really quickly, and if it's not on the bottom, you can probably find it under your applications. Font book. Okay, there it is. It has a little F on it. All right, and this is what the font book looks like. And these are some of the crazy typefaces I have downloaded in the past here. Probably maybe actually want to delete some of these now or uncheck them. Yeah, disable those right now. But when we load them, we want to load them into the All Fonts section here. These are things on my computer, my user. You can search different ways. It's not such a great program, but it is on there and it is free. The Typeface app is what is being used on at least the Bradenton campuses, Mac Labs. I have a download here where you can open and read about it. I think it's as simple as downloading a typeface and dropping it in there. I know in the Mac Labs on campus you can't add any typefaces to it, but if you guys want it for your personal computers, it's a pretty good application. I think it's around $20 in the App Store. I have Suitcase, which is this professional font management system, and it allows me to make my own collections. So here's the system fonts right there. These are some of the system fonts. So here's my font library. You'll notice I have 4,700 typefaces, right? And that's because I've taken them from different agencies that I've worked at, different files people have sent me. A lot of these typefaces are just wicked expensive. And I can search by name. I can set up groups, like if I have my Canon client, or I have American Airlines, I can set up the typefaces that are specific to them. There's all my 4,000 typefaces, right? And, I can see it in different sizes up here. It gives me a preview. What I like about this program is if I go to open a file from a USB or a Dropbox or something, if I have the typeface, it will automatically open it for me. I don't have to go back into my font book and open it and select everything like that. It also makes it pretty easy to search, and it works seamlessly with the Adobe programs. So it's a really good program. Last time I bought it, I think it was around 80 bucks. All right. You guys will also have for free your Adobe Type Kit, right? And that is in the cloud. your cloud application. Come here, you. All right, and fonts, I think it's under like apps in the big, this is the main window. You can go to like manage fonts. You guys also have free stock in there too, which is very useful. You know, you can get free photo images and vector files and things. But you can go into manage fonts, see what's active. I also have the latest video from Terry White on Adobe stocks, or sorry, on this Adobe Type that you might want to watch. It used to be that you could activate, I think, around 50 of these, but it's up to a higher number now. And just to point out, when you do browse the fonts, they now have this thing called tags, which you can see it shows you an example of how they look. And here's the old school classification system that you learned in some of your vocabulary. So you can see sans serif, serif ones, there's the black letter, hand, and if you like, say, this rock salt one, and again, the family is all the weights that exist in it. Let's say you like this one, right? And you could even type in here Professor Ellen if you were like, you know, looking for something specific. They only have one weight in this. But if you want to activate it, you would just click activate and it would be open in your Illustrator, any Adobe program you're using. Any Adobe program you're using, that will become active. All right, so if I have my Illustrator here, I've been opening up giant documents, so let me see, okay. And I want to go over here and type and it was, I have to remember the name of it. It was called rock salt, right? It's already right there in the list. All right, easy as just checking that box. So that is sort of a breakdown of all these type kits. Now, when I talk about downloading new typefaces, I've given you some free websites and there are paid websites. I'm going to start looking at one of the paid ones just so you guys can have some appreciation here for the thousands of typefaces we keep, and these things are very valuable. I'm gonna look. This is House Industries. It's a type design house. They just sit around and style all these types for us. Let's look at this Velo Serif for a minute. All right, you can. There's the thin version, the italic. This is the family again. The family of this Velo Serif. And buying options, it is $300, all right, for just for a desktop version of this. If you wanted a web, they charge you by how many times it's viewed on a website, all right. It's different usages, but $300 just for your own print uses. So you can see why every time I go somewhere I try and, like, you know, download all the typefaces and take them with me. Right? That was like a big deal. I've also put in here, right, free fonts, like 1001 free fonts. Okay, and they have their classifications set up. I don't know if we can do serif or sans. There's serif. Right, let's look at, there's sans serif. There's some of the classifications in here that we talked about. Okay, and you're just going to, some of them you're just going to have to guess, like movies and TV. Let's see this one. And again, I can go and type in here, Professor Ellen. Let me see it at 20 fonts, medium, most downloads, license type, update. So there is my name in Walt Disney type. Right here it is in Jurassic Park type. Transformers the movie. Star Wars. Oh, look, Star Wars. Oh, that's okay. I'm going to try this one. Now, sometimes the magic works with the free fonts. See, I'm downloading. I get the Star Jedi zip. And Let me shut this down under my downloads folder, and I'm just going to take it out so you guys can see it. You have to double click to unzip the file. So I get this folder, and I would have to go back to my All Fonts book, make sure you're in All Fonts, not one of the other sections, and drop it in there. Okay, and then let's see. It's called Star Jedi. I didn't get a warning sign, so I'm guessing it worked. Star Jedi. Oh, look, I can be all Star Warsy now. Okay, so that's how you download into this font book. Right? If I wanted to download into my suitcase, I would go through and add a new library set. If you want to add to your typeface application, you're going to have to look at the directions for that. I think it's just as easy doing this typeface application. All right, you guys might want to really look into that one because I know it's what the school's using too. One more thing, and I would encourage you to read, this is the latest and greatest on the Adobe type fonts there. One more thing I think before I leave this 1001 free fonts is sometimes you will get one that's not compatible with a Mac, right? And sometimes you will get one that's not an open typeface. So if you go to like drag this in, seeing how it moved over, if I drag this into my All Fonts, I might get a like just not compatible link, in which case you're just going to have to forget that one and move on. It's a typeface design just for PC. Some of them, you know, like this Professor one, sorry, this Walt Disney font, you know, you're going to get, look at this, it doesn't have any lower cases. All right, but you do get different weights of it. So you're just going to kind of, look, there's a little Mickey Mouse guy. All right, so sometimes you're just going to get what you get with the free fonts. All right, and oh, here is my little pro tip for you guys. Not that anybody would ever do this, but let's go back to our house industry website and click on specimen to edit. So if I wanted to type in like Professor Ellen to this, and I don't want to buy the typeface, I can do a screen grab. Oh, it's going to get my cursor. Put my cursor down there. Let's do that again. I'll do a screen grab. I can, let me wait for it. Drag it in here. And do I think the black and white image trace works well. Expand, ungroup, and you're going to get that white bit. But now look, I've got all the letters, and I can sit there and move that around as I like. I've got the typeface. Now my little trick, of course, it's a complete steal. It's not copyright okay. And you couldn't do this to a whole bunch of like body copy, like, you know, all the text of an article. But if you just wanted to write out like, you know, the name of a headline or, you know, so-and-so's birthday party for a headline, it's a nice little cheat. But you didn't hear it from me if anything ever comes about it. So that's it. I just wanted to run you guys about how to download those typefaces. Your system fonts, leave them alone. Font Book, it's your free application that's already on your Mac. I recommend you guys get this Typeface app. Suitcase is a more expensive version. And of course, you've got your free Adobe Type Kit, which I imagine most of you guys will be using. Just make sure that if you ever send a file to someone who's not on a Mac or who doesn't have an Adobe subscription, they will not be able to open those Adobe typefaces, as it's an automatic, like, you know, security check when they try and open it if they have a membership. So that's it. I'll be seeing you guys next week.